Today, it's a symbol of wealth, a machine parked outside five-star hotels, luxury mansions, and celebrity homes. It costs more than many houses, and some versions can reach speeds that would embarrass sports cars. But the truth is, the Mercedes G-Wagon was never meant to be a luxury vehicle. Its story begins in war zones, political power struggles, and some of the most dangerous places on Earth. Before it became a status symbol for millionaires, it was built for soldiers. Before it carried celebrities, it carried weapons. And hidden beneath its glamorous image lies a dark history that most owners don't even know. This is the untold story of the Mercedes G-Wagon. The Mercedes G-Class is one of the most recognizable vehicles ever built. Its boxy shape has barely changed in more than 4 decades. While nearly every SUV evolved into sleek aerodynamic designs, the G-Wagon remained stubbornly square. To many people, that's exactly what makes it special. But every icon has a past, and the G-Wagon's past is far darker than its polished modern image suggests. To understand how this luxury legend was born, we have to travel back to the 1970s, a time when nobody imagined this vehicle would one day become one of the world's ultimate status symbols. The story begins during the Cold War. Europe was divided, military tensions were high. Governments across the continent wanted vehicles capable of surviving extreme conditions. At the same time, an unusual request arrived at Mercedes-Benz. One of the company's major shareholders, the Shah of Iran, reportedly showed interest in a rugged military vehicle that could serve armies operating in harsh environments. Mercedes partnered with Austrian manufacturer Steyr-Daimler-Puch. Together, they began developing a machine unlike anything Mercedes had built before. Comfort wasn't the priority, luxury wasn't the priority, survival was. Engineers designed the vehicle to climb mountains, cross deserts, and continue moving where ordinary vehicles would fail. The result was the Geländewagen. In German, the name means cross-country vehicle. The world would eventually shorten it to just one letter: G. When production officially began in 1979, the vehicle looked almost primitive. Flat panels, simple interiors, minimal technology. Everything was designed with durability in mind. If something broke, it had to be easy to fix. The G-Wagon wasn't built to impress people, it was built to endure. And soon, governments around the world started paying attention. The first customers weren't celebrities, they were military organizations, police forces, border patrol units, and government agencies. The G-Wagon quickly earned a reputation for being nearly unstoppable. Its 3 locking differentials gave it extraordinary off-road capability. Its rugged construction allowed it to survive punishment that would destroy most vehicles. Soon, armies from dozens of countries were using versions of the G-Class. It appeared in deserts, forests, mountain regions, and conflict zones. The vehicle became associated with power, authority, and military strength. But while its military reputation grew, Mercedes noticed something interesting. Civilian buyers were becoming fascinated by the vehicle. Its toughness created a unique appeal. Unlike luxury cars that focused on elegance, the G-Wagon projected strength. Owning one felt different. It wasn't about sophistication, it was about commanding presence. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Mercedes slowly began adding more comfort and luxury features. Leather seats appeared. More powerful engines arrived. Technology improved. Yet the vehicle's exterior remained largely unchanged, and that consistency would eventually become one of its greatest strengths. But while its popularity was growing, darker chapters were unfolding around the world. As the G-Wagon spread globally, it became a common sight in regions affected by conflict. Photographs from war zones frequently showed military versions of the vehicle. Its durability made it attractive not only to governments, but also to armed groups operating in unstable regions. In some places, the G-Wagon became associated with conflict and power struggles. Images of armed convoys featuring rugged off-road vehicles, including military G-Class models, appeared across international media. For many people, the vehicle represented authority. For others, it represented fear. This dual identity created an unusual contradiction. In one country, the G-Wagon might be protecting civilians. In another, it could be operating in the middle of violent conflict. Yet that wasn't the only controversy. As the years passed, critics began questioning what the modern G-Wagon had become. The original vehicle was designed for utility. It was practical, purpose-built, simple. But modern versions weighed thousands of pounds and featured luxury options that pushed prices into six-figure territory. Some argued that the G-Wagon had lost its soul. Others criticized its fuel consumption and environmental impact. How could a vehicle designed in the 1970s still make sense in a modern world focused on efficiency? Many believed the G-Class would eventually disappear. After all, countless automotive icons had already vanished. But Mercedes had a different plan, and that plan would completely transform the G-Wagon's future. By the early 2000s, something unexpected happened. Celebrities started buying G-Wagons, lots of them. Actors, athletes, musicians, business leaders. The vehicle began appearing everywhere. What once looked like a military truck suddenly became fashionable. Its boxy design stood out in a world filled with rounded SUVs, and standing out is exactly what many wealthy buyers wanted. Then came the performance revolution. Mercedes-AMG started creating increasingly powerful versions. The numbers became almost absurd. Hundreds of horsepower, thunderous exhaust notes, acceleration figures that seemed impossible for a vehicle of its size. The G-Wagon was no longer just rugged, it was fast, very fast. Suddenly, it occupied a unique position in the market. It wasn't the most luxurious SUV, it wasn't the most capable off-roader, it wasn't the fastest performance vehicle. But it somehow combined all three worlds, and people couldn't get enough of it. Then came perhaps the biggest risk in its history. Mercedes decided to redesign the vehicle. The challenge was enormous. Change too much and fans would revolt. Change too little and the vehicle would become outdated. The company walked a fine line. When the new generation arrived, it looked almost identical to its predecessor. Yet underneath, nearly everything was new. The gamble worked. The G-Wagon became more popular than ever. Today, the Mercedes G-Class occupies a position few vehicles ever achieve. It's more than transportation. It's a cultural icon. Its customers range from off-road enthusiasts to celebrities and world leaders. Its shape is recognized almost instantly, and despite decades of predictions that it would disappear, the G-Wagon remains one of the most desirable SUVs on the planet. Yet its legacy is complicated. This is a vehicle with roots in military history, a machine born from geopolitical tensions and harsh realities, a vehicle that spent years serving in difficult environments before becoming a luxury statement. Every modern G-Wagon carries traces of that past: the upright windshield, the exposed door hinges, the unmistakable silhouette. They're reminders of a time when practicality mattered more than prestige. Most luxury vehicles are designed to look powerful. The G-Wagon became powerful first. The luxury came later. And perhaps that's why people remain fascinated by it. Because beneath the leather, technology, and celebrity appeal lies something authentic, a machine built for survival. The Mercedes G-Wagon is one of the greatest transformations in automotive history. Few vehicles have traveled such an extraordinary path. From military tool to luxury icon, from conflict zones to red carpets, from rugged necessity to global status symbol. Its story isn't just about engineering, it's about reinvention. It's about how a machine designed for one purpose can evolve into something completely different. And while millions admire the G-Wagon for its luxury and prestige, its true identity is hidden beneath the surface. A reminder that every legend has a past, and sometimes that past is darker than anyone realizes. The next time you see a Mercedes G-Wagon cruising through a wealthy neighborhood, remember this. Before it became a symbol of success, it was built for war, and today, the Mercedes G-Wagon stands in a world completely different from where it began.